Okay, today I'm answering a very simple question. What's the best budget pre-workout? That would be A or S tier. And it seems like a simple question, right? But it is much harder to answer than it actually seems because of how saturated the pre-workout market is. Now, I went over, on the internet. I found a bunch of other tier lists and I found which pre workouts people think are the best across the internet. Mostly I found these videos on TikTok, but. So yeah, I found obviously some people were saying Rect, Gorilla Mind, Bum's pre workout. Some people were saying Gorilla Mind or Pulse. There was V1 Nutra. There was also Gorilla Mind, Godzilla, another C-Bomb, and Disorder, and Ghost. So those were kind of like the top pre-workouts. So now to look more individually at them. So obviously I have them right here. The top pre-workouts. So these are the pre-workouts that I found to be liked by the population the most. So let's find which one is the best of them. So we have obviously here the Disorder pre-workout. We have Godzilla pre-workout by Rise. We have V1 Ultimate, Wrecked, which I'm pretty sure I already went over. And lastly, we have a Gorilla Mind. Very different pre-workouts. All of them are different. But to see which one is the most budget, obviously we have to go over how much they cost. And whichever one has the best formula for the cost will be the best one. So I think for this, I'm going to be going mostly over scoops and price. So for this Disorder, so how I'm going to calculate this for this pre-workout, for this Disorder pre-workout, we're looking at the servings and at the price. So a 50 servings divided by $70, or no, it was the other way around. $70 divided by 50 servings. So one serving is $1.4. Moving on to the next one. This one has 40 servings and it's $57 divided by 40. So this one is 1.4. So that would already be a no. So that would be already like more expensive. Looking at comparing the formulas, I would probably have to say that Godzilla pre-workout formula is very, very basic. It's alright for taste and for everything. It's good for a beginner, but if it's more expensive than Disorder, then you'll probably be buying Disorder. Now let's move on to the next one. V1 Ultimate. This one has 25 servings for $64. So 64 divided by 25. So that's a pretty expensive serving. However, obviously V1 Ultimate is known for having a pretty stacked formula. So thing with this question is, it's if you're looking for a budget pre-workout that just has the minimal ingredients, then like you're gonna find that's pretty easy to find, right? But to find a pre-workout that is cheap and also has everything, that's gonna be a bit harder. So between these two pre-workouts, if you're trying to pick, then obviously V1 is gonna be much better because the formula is absolutely stacked, right? If you're picking on price, then Disorder here would probably be better. Also, the caffeine. A lot of people look at the caffeine. So here, the caffeine is pretty much the same. Caffeine dose wouldn't be any different. Again, in this formula, there are also some holes in the ingredients, but it's alright as well. So okay. If we're going off budget, then I would pick Disorder. Again, Wrecked, I think we've looked at this before and it wasn't like that great. So as for the oh, okay, as for the price, this one's actually pretty cheap. So 40 servings or $44 divided by 40 servings. So that's very very cheap dose. Looking at the ingredients, I would probably have to say that Wrecked has better ingredients. However, for Wrecked, I think it's much better if you're taking 2 scoops, which makes it twice as expensive. But also the 1 scoop is okay. Also, they have like glycerol, which is very good. They have betaine. They have dicaffeine malate. They have a bit less caffeine than Disorder, but overall, I think it's a much better and much more solid formula here in the Wrecked. So you'd have to pick Wrecked. And lastly, Gorilla Mind. And Gorilla Mind, I would have to hope that it's very known by a lot of people because it is very, very good. As for the price of the serving, it is here, it is 1.5. So it is still a little more expensive than Disorder, a little more expensive than I think it was Godzilla, and also more expensive than Wrecked. But the formula is very, very, very stacked. You can see here how much they have put in. For this, also, it would be much better if you're taking the 2 scoops, because then it's a lot more ingredients. But the 1 scoop is also alright. And these are probably the two main budget pre-workouts that you would pick from. Another pre-workout that you see on my list in the videos usually is bulk pre-workout. However, this one does have good ingredients. However, it is a bit more expensive. So here you can see it's 1.6 dollars per serving. So it's a bit more expensive than Gorilla Mind and Wrecked. So if you're going more for like the cheap, if you're trying to find just a pre-workout that is kind of on the cheaper side but still has solid ingredients, then I mean you can pick from all the top 5 pre-workouts that I've showed you because all of them are pretty solid. However, the last 2 that we have come to find that are good is for cheapness is probably going to be Wrecked and Gorilla Mind. They both have very very solid formulas, and they both are on the cheaper side. Like if I had to pick between these two, it would be pretty obvious which one I would pick. I would probably go for the bit more expensive because here the crucial difference is obviously this one is much like it is cheaper, but also the scoop, one serving size is much smaller. So here it's 1 scoop is only 12.5 grams. Here 1 scoop is 20.4 grams, which just means that this Gorilla Mind pre-workout has more ingredients in it, which in itself makes it better. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you had to choose between 2 pre-workouts, these 2 would be it. And if you take my advice, then I'd probably tell you to pick the Gorilla Mind. However, there could always be another pre-workout that I don't know about yet, which is much better. So if you have any idea of those, put them down below. I'm going to look at them. And I'm going to tell you if they're good or if they're not. And thank you, and see you in the next one.